Wait for it to stop raining. Well, would you believe it? I've just had a fantastic tour around the peninsula with local farmer Matt, and he's given me gives me access to his land for this project, which is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Would you believe it? I've just arrived, set up to start painting this cracking view we can see over there, looking towards Trelisic and Low Beach on the Fal River, and it's just started raining. So I'm going to go and have some lunch in the car and just let this pass through, and then let's see if I can make something of it. And I've even got my silly hat on as well. Great. Well, we're lucky the rain has just passed over. I've just had my lunch, so it was quite good timing really. I was getting a bit hungry and the rain has passed through, so now I can get on with this painting. I was thinking if it stayed a bit wet I would have done a black and white charcoal sort of with water painting, liquid charcoal probably, but now it's cleared and the colours are coming through. I'm going to revert back to the oils like originally planned, and we're doing that view there. And I particularly like this big fir tree here, and I like the way the river sweeps around there towards Trelisic around the corner, and you've got Low Beach over there, look. So we'll see how we get on, and yeah, looking good. Okay, so here I'm just doing a bit of a general blocking, just drawing in some basic shapes. With a mixture of like a raw umber, ultramarine blue mix. You can see just generally drawing some shapes in and blocking some areas in with this sort of wash of colour. Oil paints diluted with a little bit of terps. Got a very absorbent surface there on that board, the homemade gesso. Yeah, hold the brush quite a long way from the bristles, hold it right at the end, just so it's got quite a free action just for drawing in these loose shapes. And just sort of blocking in areas of colour, just sort of feel your way around it. It's just about having fun really with the paint. Very changeable lighting conditions there, so it's just like not too worried about the colours at that stage, because guaranteed they'll be changing again within the next 10 minutes. It was quite a windy day. I managed to get out of the wind behind that hedge there. The thing is, the birds kept singing, very nice, not too cold, and the rain didn't come back, which was excellent. Okay, here's a quick update. I've just been really blasting that sky in. I've been painting for about 15 minutes so far. The sky's changing so quickly. I really wanted to blast that in and get a feeling for what's happening, because earlier on we had these lovely sort of violety raw sienna type clouds, and I wanted to really get those in, exaggerate that quite a bit. And then you've got this sort of blue grey sky below that, and I just sort of quickly mapped in where the headland was and the field shape. So really fast, with quite a lot of terps in there, so you can see all the runs. That's what the terps does to the paint. Dries super fast on this absorbent board that I'm working on with the homemade gesso, and that's great. And I'll just thicken the paint up a little bit as we go along the top there. You can quite see that because of the shadow. Sun's just come out right behind me now, but yeah, you can just see the paint. I've thickened it up a bit for the opaque areas I want to have as highlights, like brighter clouds. And usual palette as normal. I've got my little dipper, terps, homemade medium, stand oil, damar varnish and terps in there. It's got titanium white, cadmium yellow, it's a cheap one, so it's very weak tinting. Lemon yellow, cadmium orange today. That's left out from a demo I did the other evening. Cadmium red, magenta, Indian red, raw sienna, bit of old burnt umber, which I'm not really using. Raw umber, which I do like at the moment. Violet, ultramarine blue, manganese blue, and I've got a bit of ivory black there just in case. No sap green and no cobalt blue today. After just sort of standing back and having a little look at what I was doing, I went back into the sky again at this point. Really just to finish building that up. And you can see there from that little sort of time-lapse shot how quickly the clouds are rolling past and the changing light, which is a real challenge but really good fun. But I quite like that rather than sort of continuous light, which is a bit flat. I like responding to these changes. See, 1 minute it's cloudy, next minute it's sunny. It's very interesting. Quite nice, quiet spot to paint. The odd plane and boat going past, but generally very quiet. See, sometimes you just sort of start to slow down a little bit when you've got to put in these little details. Just try and mark in these position of these headlands. Not too complicated, the scene, but you want to get these areas in fairly accurately at this point, so like you get the river and the creeks in the right place in relation to the land around it. You see the sun just coming in behind me here, created a bit of a shadow onto the board. So at this stage I'm just occasionally adding a little bit of the medium now to the paint rather than terps, just to sort of give it a bit more body. It's important when you're painting just to regularly stand back and have a look at what you're doing, so you can get a better idea of how it's looking from a little bit further away, sort of like a couple of meters away, rather than sort of being on top of it all the time. And you can work out any problems, then you can see they become more obvious from a distance, and work out solutions to little problems that arise. I think I used about 3 brushes for this whole painting. Time for a little look. Yeah, I think 3 brushes, maybe 4. And just I'll take way too many with me, but it's good to have a choice. They start to work quite nicely at this point. Just putting a few darks in there in the back, in that headland there. We're just above low beach. Not too dark because it's sort of in the middle distance. There was like a reddish, pinky red area there where the fields bare earth, which was quite nice in the background. Right, time for another update. We've finished with the sky for now, and we've added some colour into the headland over there, and we've sort of mucky green I've put in on the field down here, which I quite like. Look at the colour of that there now, look. Amazing, that bright green on the edge there. I might try and get that in actually, that will go in just there. That means I'll have to, if I do that, I'll have to darken what's behind it really, so I'll probably end up leaving that there. And you can just see the bar coming out now as well. Tide's going down. It's just sort of roughly brushed in these areas, added a few of the houses in where they might have been catching the sun. There's a little bit of yellow there where the field was catching a little bit of sun, so the sun's sort of poking through gaps in the cloud here and there. So very changeable light, but I'm having a fantastic day. It's really good. Right, I'm going to carry on. I'm going to get this done to completion outside today. This is not going to have any work done on in the studio. It's got a good feel to it, and I'm just going to finish it outside. So I better crack on. I thought it was about time I put this tree in here in the foreground, which I quite like the shape of, and it gives me a bit of a nice dark green in the foreground. I decided not to make it sort of as prominent and as big as it actually was. And also started painting a few darker areas into that hedgerow that runs along the top of the field there. This area, this is where you sort of worry a little bit when it's wetting to wet. You're painting this tree line over the wet the paint, which is done already of the water. If you make any mistakes, you get it. You get it wrong here. You have to sort of generally scrape it off and start again. Just going around now in the foreground there in the grass field. It's not the colour of the grass actually was, but I thought it worked better actually. It was just a quick blocking in this sort of mucky green colour. I thought it worked a lot better than this sort of bright sort of sap green, which it actually was. And I'm just filling in a few little gaps, trying to just get a bit of movement in the paint. Some sort of agitated brush marks. And last few touches. This is a final update, as I think I've taken it as far as I can, or as far as I want to. I quite like the feel of it. It's not 100% accurate. Like for instance the tree, the big sort of cedar type tree over there, I've made a bit smaller and not as darker. But I'm quite happy with the way it's worked out. I quite like it. It's a good impression of what was there. There's a couple of hours painting, maybe just under, but yeah, great fun, really good fun, really enjoyed that. Right, well that's it for today. I've had a fantastic day. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed painting. The light was very changeable at the beginning, but now it's gone really flat. But I've done what I wanted to do anyway, so I don't mind at all. And the rain held off in the end, which is great. So that's view over towards Trelisic, which goes off over that way. There we are, in there. That way goes to Myler, around there, and Devereux. So there's plenty of places I'll be painting out this way. And then we've got all across the way there, which is the Rosen Peninsula, so we've got to go over there yet and do a fair bit of painting, plus out towards Falmouth again, and all the way up to Truro. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. It all helps me get some momentum with this channel going, and see you soon.